person graciously, although I really just pounded upon her and asked her, agreed to do Happy Dollar, so she's going to help out as well. So we will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test
Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
So thank you so much. All right, so I think our guest is our guest speaker. So Emily, so glad that you are here. Delighted to have you. I do not have the birthdays and anniversaries. So if you feel like fussing up that it is your birthday this week, so we sing to you, you can speak up. If you're thinking, I prefer not to share that information. So yeah. And our member minute has been moved. So that's all good. We don't have a member minute today. However, it was brought to my attention that the member minute calendar needed to be updated because we have some new folks. So that's awesome. We had some folks who've missed, so they've had to move. No big deal. So on Friday, when I send out the email, I will send out the updated member minute calendar that will run actually to the end of the year. End of my Rotary year. So it'll be filled up through that, which is pretty exciting. I mean, we're working our way through everybody. So you'll get that on Friday. So we do not have a member minute for today. Speaking of updating and information and speakers and such, I was hustling about a little bit this morning trying to get some information, and it does look like, even though the calendar is a little spotty, what is very cool is that it looks like we have speakers coming up well into December. We're going to tighten up and see what's happening on the 18th, one way or the other. Something will happen, something good. And I will be able to get that information updated relatively quickly. What I don't have and what I will work to get for you all is, again, the idea of the calendar going forward. So I think it's helpful to be able to see that going out. I don't have that, but I will get that one way or the other. So we will look for updated speaker lists. Who knows who they have, information, and when your day is. So look for that soon as well. Let's see here. So that puts on a pause of such for our orientation meeting. We are having an orientation meeting. Question is what day? So that will be coming to you all as well. I am still looking for someone to help plan the holiday party. Hi. Soon I will start asking, we're getting volunteers. All right, ladies.
You gotta have a party.
You gotta have a party. Okay.
And if you need a party planner, they're the best.
Okay.
What's that? They're the best party planner.
All right. Maybe I can have some conversation to bring some other folks in as well. So Thank you, ladies. All right, so we're having the holiday party coming up probably in January. And then the last bit of information I have as far as just general announcements is that I have had the busiest of Octobers in the history of ever. Okay, maybe not the history of ever, but a long time, the busiest of October. So I have all the information from the survey that you all graciously sent in, and many of you sent in. I do see some light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. So I do intend to have that information compiled and shared with all of you relatively soon. So the one thing I forgot. All right, that is information that I have. Other Rotary Moments. Rose.
So this is Joe. Joe and I attended the Vibrant Club gathering, what we call it? Workshop at the Madison Club on Saturday. It was very, very good, very good information. They broke it down into membership, public image, and the foundation. So it's got lots of good information that I'll share with the board, and then kind of I'll put it on the a little bit. We'll be having lots of conversations too. That lots of good ideas for you. Okay, so I've been very involved in the district, so it was kind of interesting. I meet our our assistant governor, so he's gonna come on the 18th.
On Sunday.
So, so that's what he's starting to schedule to come, work that out, right? Just to meet everybody. And then, so we have some really good leadership coming up. So, good information, but yeah, I was glad I went.
Thank you so much. Thanks to both for going.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick Marsh, we're budding our way through this, I swear. It's like go time right now, but with permits and we're kind of stuck in the quagmire of the city right now. And so I don't have a date that we're breaking ground yet, even though right now is when we're supposed to be doing it. So it's kind of like I feel like I'm stuck in mud, so.
Literally. I did see a beautiful picture in the paper somewhere. That was a lovely picture of saying how the city had taken it on, and it's just a nice little article. So should see that. Any other mention of Rotary? No mention of Rotary. No, but it was a lovely picture.
Mine's a Rotary question. Do you want me to get the microphone? I know that sometimes the kitchen is.
I know. Am I talking loud enough?
If not, it's fine.
I think Emily's got a good voice.
And I do think I'm
Okay.
But thank you.
Teacher mom voice.
There you go. There you go. Any other Rotary moments at all? All right. Well then, given that, so some scheduling information headed your way, both about member moment as well as about the speakers. Updated speaker information on the way. Thank you, ladies, for signing up to help host the holiday party. More help would always be appreciated. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Emily Veselsky, excuse me, who is the Creekside After School Coordinator with Community Schools. And she is going to chat with us about all things Creekside. Awesome. And thank you, Michael, for getting your presentation ready to go.
Jamie's my boss.
Cheering section is a very smart move.
The clicker. All right. I do have a loud voice, but can everybody hear me? I'm projecting well. Okay, so my name is Emily, like I was introduced. Thank you. I'm the community schools site coordinator at Creekside Elementary, and I do run our after school program. So a little bit about me. My wife and I have been married for 16 years. We have been living in Sun Prairie for almost 8 years. So both of our kids, our boys are 11 and 14. He just turned 14. Have worked their way through the Sun Prairie School District. They both went to the YMCA for 4K and then CH Bird for all of elementary school. And they're both now at Patrick Marsh Middle School. And then next year, when we have a high schooler, they'll be at West High, which is so weird. It's so these stages are really weird. This is our first year without an elementary kid in our house, but working in the elementary school and then trying to go home and talk to my teenagers. It's very strange. It's a weird in between moment. And then every time I do a slide like this, my kids tell me I have to put the pictures of the fur babies. So we do have 6 cats. There they are. They're named for movies, which is always kind of fun, but yeah. So
Tell us the names.
So these 3 here, this is Sarah, Mary, and Winifred. They're sisters.
Focus.
Focus.
That's what I was thinking.
The 2 on the end are Severus and Lily from Harry Potter.
Okay.
And then this guy here, he's our oldest, and his name is Fezzik.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. That one usually, well, you know this.
Did you just place her there?
Okay, so what is community schools? I know a lot of you do know what community schools is and what we do. I would love to hear, just real quick, kind of popcorning out, what you think community schools is.
I'm gonna
Not
Jamie.
Jamie can anyone?
It's a program to unite what school is, what home is, we're creating a second space, second community for ensuring academic success.
Love that. Creating community to ensure academic success, bridging schools and home. Anyone else?
And it's inclusive.
Inclusive. Love that word. Yes. Anyone else? Before I go to the official definition. Okay, so community schools is a strategy, that's an important word, that transforms a school into a place where educators, local community members, families, and students work together to strengthen conditions for student learning and healthy development. As partners, we organize in and out of school time resources, supports, and opportunities so that young people will thrive. The important thing about the definition is the word strategy, right? We are not a program that is put into schools and is identical across all the locations that we're in. We are a strategy that is implemented within the school district. This year, we have 5 schools in our school district that are community school locations, 4 elementary schools, and then Prairie Phoenix Academy, which is our alternative high school. I think Jamie's dream is that our whole district will be community schools locations at some point. Because we see the impact that community schools has on our schools every day. Title I schools in our district who receive a site coordinator like myself, we are located directly at the school, full-time days. So, and then where we all do have the same goal, which is to make that bridge between our schools and our communities, our families and our communities. We then each kind of have personalized roles within our buildings, dependent on what the needs are for each of our schools. So like it was said, a big part of what I do is our out of school time programs at Creekside. And we are going to talk a little bit about one of them. These are some of the things that you see at a lot of our schools, but this is specific to Creekside. So we all have on-site food pantries, which I think we can all agree that especially right now, really important. We work really closely with Sunshine Place to help provide the food for those pantries. We work with community partners to receive donations for our pantries. And then we all have a clothing closet. Mine is called Cody's clothing closet because Cody is our mascot, Cody the Coyote. It's a lot of C's. The clothing closets are all based on donations. For me at Creekside, often it's teachers whose kids are growing out of clothes, and so they donate them to me. And I have a really cool, I think it was a storage closet at some point, but it was given to me. So I have this nice, beautiful space where families or students or teachers on behalf of students can come in and shop for their kids who need clothes. And then I'm working with kindergarten this year to up their family engagement and community involvement. And then some of our after school clubs this year, we're doing music therapy for our students with disabilities and their caregivers. They come once a week for 8 weeks each semester with a certified music therapist. My background is in music. I went to school for music. So for me, that's really cool. And then we're also, Rise Girl is another one that we brought in this year that was really important to myself and our student services team. That is a mental health program for girls grades 3 through 5. Next year, we'll be doing Rise Girl and Rise Guy. So a group for the girls and a group for the boys. And then the one that we're really going to talk about today is Coyote Club, which is Creekside's full-time after-school program. It runs Monday through Thursday after school until 5 o'clock. And we bring in other enrichments into our program. It's funded by a federal grant, which again is not the most fun space to be in at the moment, but we have incredible advocates like Jamie, who really pushes for these programs, and she does a lot of the grunt work for me, which is also great. And then we get to provide a free program to any students. So we're not looking at demographics, we're not looking at where they live or what they need. It is open to any and all students. I am at capacity with 80 students this year, so we have a lot of kids that filled up the program within the first 2 weeks of enrollment being open.
What's total enrollment of the schools?
My school is at 343 this year.
Wow. So that's about one and
About a quarter of them. Yep.
Wow.
Mhm.
You probably have more. You could.
Oh, I have a wait list, absolutely. Yeah, it filled up. So this is our second year in this grant cycle. Last year, so I started at Creekside last year on September 23rd. Got my day of orientation from Jamie, all things community schools, welcome to Creekside. And then she said, now you get to start Coyote Club and it has to start in 2 weeks. I went, okay, here we go.
I like this.
So, yeah. So we created a program, created a handbook, created everything that needed to go with it. I hired, we enrolled, and on day one I had 48 kids. I was shocked. Because of the amount of money that we received for the grant, our average daily attendance, we look for anywhere between 55 and 65 kids. I was not convinced that we were going to hit it in year one. We hit it in year one. Like it happened so fast. And I was just so surprised. So this year, right, we changed a few things with how we enroll so that we could have that maximum enrollment right away. We also have a year under our belts, so students and families are aware of the program, which obviously helps, right? Word of mouth. The kids want to be there, which is great. Again, it's free to any student who enrolls. Also great. As a mother who could have really used programs like this when my kids were little, that would have been a lifesaver. So the bell rings at 2:40 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we go 2:40 to 5, and then on Thursdays is early release, so 1:30 to 5. We do 20 minutes of math and literacy every day. So that is part of our grant, that we have to have math and literacy components to it. Last year, we saw 42% of our Coyote Club kids who were enrolled in Coyote Club, we saw their math and or literacy scores go up from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So we certainly anticipate that happening again. And then this year we were able to bring in some other enrichments to our program, which I think is really cool. So Kicks Unlimited, which most people are aware of here in Sun Prairie, they come in this semester, they're working with our 1st and 2nd grade, and next semester they'll work with 3, 4, 5. They're doing an 8-week session each semester, and then they're gold belting our kids at the end of that, which is very cool. We have a program called Grady's Garden where a man named Mike Wheeler, who lives in Minnesota, he's actually driving down to Sun Prairie every week to run this program and help it. Yeah. And he's helping us. We're kind of creating, he has a base for the program, but it's typically done in classroom settings. So we're working together to create it for out of school time programs. And then Sun Prairie Creates is a program that we worked with last year and looks like we're going to be able to work with this year as well. We bring in dance troops. We have teachers who want to do just a random lesson every once in a while on like, this is what we're doing in class, or this is not what we're doing in class, but this is what I love. So what can I do? We work with Sun Prairie East High School NHS students. They come and volunteer with us. And they get hours signed off to work through the curriculum with our group. Coyote Club goes outside every day, although now it's getting kind of gross, so they're going to fight us on it, but hopefully we'll do some sort of physical activity every day. Our 3rd grade leader does yoga with them almost weekly. It's really cool. So we're broken up into grades. And where we need help with that is we need volunteers. So we have a sign-up genius that I think I sent, okay. And we're just looking for help. We have certified advisors who run the program, basically. I definitely don't take credit for running this program. I have 7 of them. 5 of them are internal employees. So these people know way more about the curriculum and specifically math and literacy than I do. They joined me last year right away. I don't know how that happened. I sent out an email that said, okay, this is happening in 2 weeks and I need teachers. And they just came flocking, which is incredible. And so we're one of 2 programs in the district like this. And we function similarly, but also our teachers at Creekside, our advisors, feel really strongly that they want to create their own curriculum. So great. I'm not going to say no to that. So if they want to bring in their own curriculum, then I'm all for it. And they, again, do it just so much better than I do. Again, my background is in music and early childhood education, so I'm like 4K and younger is where my lesson planning skills come in. So not always great for fourth and fifth graders. We create Thursday fun projects because we're in Coyote Club for a little bit longer, so we do cooking, science, or art projects every Thursday, and my fifth graders are just turning up their nose at me this year. So, you know, things like that is where my advisors come in handy for sure. Because we have 80 students enrolled, we are broken up by grade, but each group still has 10 to 15 kids in the group. So an extra set of adult eyes and adult hands is always welcome. So the sign up genius has been passed on and will be passed on to you, and that's all you need. But if you have questions, you can always reach out to me as well. And then these are the 6 key practices of community schools. So these are things that we look for in all of our out of school time programs as well, specifically at Creekside. This is what our framework looks like. And it's these light blue puzzle pieces in here that we break up into these categories. And then we have high confidence strategies within each of these categories. And Coyote Club is in one of them, but really pulls all of them into one program. Questions about that? I saw a hand, but maybe I answered it. Okay. These are some pictures from Coyote Club last year. So you can see, right, that we are doing small group kind of one-on-one lessons. We talked about the math and literacy scores that we saw go up, but I think a really important data points, rolling my eyes because data is not my favorite thing, but we know that it's important. So at the end of last year, Coyote Club kids, every one of them were surveyed individually. They sat down with a supervisor and were asked 5 questions. And my favorite one is that 100% of our students last year, and we had 74 kids enrolled last year, said that they felt like they belonged in Coyote Club, that they had an adult that cared for them, and that it was a safe space, or a space that they felt safe. So that is, to me, I think the most important thing. It also, we have a wide range of diversity in both our leaders and our students. We supply a bus home for them at 5 o'clock, and about half of our students rely on that bus. And then I think that when we see those scores, that's why we're seeing the math and literacy scores go up. Yeah, everybody's nodding. We know. I don't need to go into that. This is our team at Green Bay. Last year was in Green Bay. So we get to do some really cool community schools conferences that we get to go to as a team. Again, with my early childhood background, I'm very child-led play-based curriculum. So it's what I'm working with kindergarten on during the day right now, but it is how we bring into Coyote Club. So sometimes they're doing some packets and some worksheets and things like that, but for the most part, it's play-based curriculum. Questions can I answer?
I have a question.
Yes.
So you're doing this in elementary school.
Yes.
And then there is at least one middle school I know that has middle schools. But do you have any way of tracking? Are you interested in knowing what happens with kids who partake in this program in elementary school and how that helps them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with it does help them later on in high school. Like, do you have any ways of seeing that, or are you interested in that at all?
Would love to do that. Our middle school locations are not community schools locations this year. So there is a break there's a gap there this year. So again, 4 elementary schools and then Prairie Phoenix Academy. I would hope that eventually all of our schools would have that community school strategy incorporated. And yeah, absolutely. I think that would be something that we would be able to track with specifically, I think, their math and literacy scores, right? Which is what a lot of the board is looking for and a lot of strategies are looking for.
Do you bus any kids from other schools into Bird?
Yeah, that's a great question. We don't. The program like this, because it's offered through a federal grant, it is technically open to anybody in the district. I have actually 2 students that come in from East Side Their mom is one of my Coyote Club advisors, and she works at Creekside during the day, but her kids go to Eastside. And then ironically, one of my other advisors, she's our multilingual specialist at Creekside and at Eastside. So she just drives the kids in at the end of the day. So we don't have the ability right now to provide the busing for students from one school to another at the end of the day. If we had, I think, a large group of students coming from, say, Eastside into Creekside, then we would maybe be able to figure out like a district van or something like that, or volunteers who might be interested in doing that. But currently, that's not something that we offer. It hasn't been a need yet. I think if and when that need does come up, then it certainly is something that we'd be able to do.
And so the elementary schools that have it are the ones that have probably more free reduced lunches and all that, or why Bird?
She said Creekside.
Creekside.
It's okay, that's okay. So Creekside and Westside are the two that have this grant, and I'm gonna be really honest and trying not to look at JB for the answer. But the grant was written before I started working for Creekside, and so I honestly don't have a great answer, and maybe JB can chime in for just a second on why these two schools were chosen.
Yeah, so there's the requirements for the grant. I do have a free and reduced lunch component on the Title I component. And so we did have Bird and Westside has this program. Westside continues to have it, and then Creekside is now with them. It's a 5-year grant, assuming.
And what year are you in now?
I'm in year 2.
Okay.
So you mentioned it filled up. Is there a criteria for the kids to do, or can anybody at the school be part of the program?
Yep, anybody at the school can be part of the program. So we did like a rolling enrollment. So it was open. We didn't start until week 3 of school. So I opened it, the first two weeks of school. It was open online. It was sent out in newsletters. It was sent out through like our family communication boards, things like that. And families could sign up through just a Google form. And then once Coyote Club started on that Monday, we closed enrollment for a couple days and then reopened it for a couple days and closed, so that students start on Mondays versus like the middle of the week, for a lot of reasons. 1, because we know it offers stability for our students, and 2, because if they need a bus, we need to have time to get that through Cobuson. But yep, there are no restrictions on students who can sign up. It's kind of a first come, first serve. Yes.
Are parents involved, or how are they involved?
Yeah, that's a great question. I send out newsletters basically every 2 weeks to families so that they know what's going on. They're aware of our enrichments, right? The Kicks Unlimited, the Grady's Garden, things like that. We take lots of pictures, and so we send those. Parents are always welcome to come and hang out with us and volunteer for a time. I don't get a lot of it, I'm gonna be honest, but I truly think it's because those students who are in our club are there because parents are working, right? And so they need this space. They need a safe space to be until 5 o'clock. Because 2:40 is a weird time to get out of school, especially for our young elementary kids. So yes, parents are always welcome to come by. And I do get it sometimes, but I think for the most part, we're seeing that barrier of them being at school or at work, excuse me. Yes, Janie.
I just want to also add that family engagement is a component of the grant, and so we do host quarterly community events and things like that to bring families into the school.
Yes, so like our family nights, we do a family night every other month at Creekside. And our first one was this last week, and we were in Appleton for a conference, so I unfortunately missed it. But moving forward, the plan is to have artwork or projects or things like that set up by our Coyote Club kids in like our LGI space or our conference room space for parents to come through and see, and so to offer some of that participation with them at that time.
One more question. So we sent out the sign up. We'll send it out again.
Great.
So I'm Rotarian. I'm like, this sounds great. I'm interested in this program. I say, I'll help you out.
Yes.
What am I going to be doing?
Yeah. That's a great question. So we're not going to throw you into a group by yourself and say, here's the curriculum. Have fun. So you will always be with a Coyote Club advisor. I'm happy to share like what our daily routine and schedule looks like so that you're aware of what we're doing. Because it does change day to day because of other like after school clubs. So kind of depending on the days that we have other after school clubs, we might go outside first, we might go outside later. We might have an enrichment that is worked into the program, but it would just be working with the Coyote Club advisor to help curb behaviors. If there's a student who just needs a minute, we might ask you to just take a loop around the hallway with them, but really it's just like getting on the ground and playing with them and or in a chair, I suppose. Getting on the floor.
Those chairs will challenge your quads.
They will, I know, they're little. I know, we need chairs like this and just like all the Coyote Club spaces just for our like grown-up hours, I think. Yeah, and it's talking to the kids, it's getting to know them, and it's just helping with kind of the guidance of the day. That's why you're here.
If you don't have any disruptions in funding or anything, what does this look like in 10 years?
That's a great question. There was a minute over the summer that we didn't think we were getting the funding. To put it, I guess, in perspective with a number, our grant is $115,000, which sounds like a lot, and it is, don't get me wrong. The majority of that goes towards paying my staff. They are not volunteers. They do get paid for their time with us, which is how we, I think, have and retain leaders, right? Again, 5 of them are internal, so they're at school from 7:15 in the morning and they're staying with us through Coyote Club at 5 o'clock. So yeah, we questioned that a lot this summer. We thankfully didn't need to move forward with any of the plans because the money did come through. But I think together with Jamie and her partnerships that she has with the school districts, the hope would be that we would be able to find it somewhere. But I don't have a great answer for that.
Yeah, I can help you out with that. So I think one of the things that we're starting to build in more and more, and you heard Emily mention it, right, is that we're building partnerships with programs that have funding from elsewhere. So UW Extension, Grady's Garden, Kicks Unlimited. These programs aren't costing us anything. These programs are built through relationships and connections across our community. And so we're really pooling our resources to provide opportunities for students. And that provides, like Emily said, like a core of this curriculum and looking at ways that we can fund the staff. There's a few different pots of right, there's Fund 80, there's support and partnership. We work with Parks and Rec. We provide some of the funding for the person that organizes the Thursday after school program, right? So there's different ways that we're able to partner with different agencies across the community to ensure that we're able to offer high quality programming for our students without just like writing a check for everything. And I think that's one of the really beautiful things about this community is that people do come together to support and partnership and help one another out a lot. So does that answer your question? I don't have a clear financial roadmap,
Right.
but I think year by year we're taking it. And this, we just had, Emily mentioned we were in a conference last week with the Department of Public Instruction, right? And looking at what are those alternative funding models should the federal funding go away.
And I guess I just have a question. How prevalent is this in the state of Wisconsin? Is this being done in a lot of places or?
I'm just curious. No, that's it. Yeah. I'm not sure. So the specific grant that we get, there are out of school time programs, after school programs, like Coyote Club and CAT, which is the one at West Side. And maybe not funded the same way, kind of like what Jamie was saying, right? So maybe don't have this 21st century grant, but are working with community partners and their local Parks and Rec. United Way is a partner with a lot of our schools in like the Green Bay area. And so stalling for Jamie.
Like this really has a curriculum. It's not just after school babysitting. I mean, I think
100%.
this is
Yes.
the key to this.
Yes. So we do, attendance is a big thing, right? So they can't, not be in school and then come to Coyote Club. We expect them to be in school and then stay with us at Coyote Club. We also, again, especially because I have this wait list, if they're not committing to 4 days a week, 99% of the time, we get it. Kids get sick, parents get sick, vacations happen, appointments happen. If you're out every once in a while, you're out every once in a while, right? But if we're seeing a regular pattern in your attendance with our program, then we're gonna have a talk with caregivers, because we expect you to be there all 4 days until 5 o'clock. And so we track the attendance through the program and we compare it to the attendance of during the day. And those are conversations that I have with Katie Mold, our principal at Creekside, and in partnership with Jamie. We talk about it often, but certainly every quarter, we're really looking at those numbers. The attendance for the program I'm looking at every week. So we're making adjustments as needed. We're looking at some of our high-risk students who we know are struggling with attendance during the day. So whereas Coyote Club is almost like an incentive, right? So kids, they want to come to the program, right? I say, yeah, we do 20 minutes of math and literacy every day, and kids kind of roll their eyes. Half the time they don't even realize they're doing math and literacy because we're playing games. We're doing science projects. On Thursdays, the Dream Bus comes. That's our literacy. They get to pick books every week off the Dream Bus. And so they want to be there. And so I've had conversations with students, with elementary age students who are saying, I got up this morning and I made my mom get me on the bus, right, so that I could come to Coyote Club because I knew we were doing a science project today. And so we're seeing that for sure. We're seeing that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
All right, so in the state of Wisconsin, there are 168 21st century community learning center sites. And so that represents just shy of 20,000 students. However, what I was looking up is that just last week, the After School Alliance released their sort of national report of after school after 3. And in the state of Wisconsin, there are about 68,000 students enrolled in after-school programs, but there are 275,000 students that cannot access it largely due to economic barriers or transportation barriers. So 4 out of 5 kids are missing out right now, and a lot of it has to do with logistical challenges and funding.
But you're offering the busing, which is awesome.
Yep,
Yeah, the
absolutely.
program is free.
And the program is free. Yep. Mhm.
Thank you so very much. So I will resend out, Friday's a big day, big email day. I will resend out the sign-up sheet to offer your participation in helping with Coyote Club. The Rotary Club has had a long-standing relationship with Creekside for a variety of programs, so this would be a natural extension for that. And just, one of the reasons I would assume, always be careful when you use the word assume, but I would assume that one of the reasons that you all joined Rotary was because you wanted to find opportunities to serve in the community, and this would be a great way to do so. So thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. It is time for Happy Dollars.
Yay!
Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, I know Dave kind of brings a sourpuss to this kind of. So Emily, we do Happy Dollars, which means you can pay $1 to share something great, and you get a free one. So I'm going to start over here and work around towards you. Now, you guys, when Dave comes back, I want to be able to brag about how much money we did. So remember, you can also put down your name, and we can charge you if you don't have cash. So just like dig deep, we need some sunshine. Bring some sunshine.
All right, I'll do one.
All right,
You have to charge babies.
and how many are we charging today?
We'll do 2.
We're not.
I had to do that one time, and I tried also.
So one is a happy dollar for me, but a sad dollar for Wisconsin because my volleyball team is still unbeaten. They have like, I don't remember now the numbers. I think it's close to 40 straight wins. Wow. 3-0 matches. It's so fun to watch. Football team lost, that's man. And Wisconsin didn't lose.
No.
Bye week.
I have $1.
Yeah.
So after that bummer of hearing about the volleyball team
That wasn't a
getting
bummer.
swept by Nebraska of all places, I have a grandson in Appleton who plays volleyball, and they're headed to the state boys volleyball tournament starting Wednesday. And they may go through Thursday, and even the championship is Friday, which if it occurs, I will not be at AleFest. So that's my news. And we're a family that does not have a sports background, especially team sports. So this is a big deal.
So it's here in Madison,
It's Green Bay.
oh, Green Bay.
Yeah, it's one of those that got up to Green Bay.
I'll get you a shirt like mine, Paul, just says go sports.
Yeah, all right.
I was paying $1 to be, I can't be left out. at
Baby's energy.
Well, I just want to say, what a great presentation. I
Yeah.
think this really speaks well for the community and the schools and the kids. So I'm with you. I'm hoping we can get it into more schools.
See some more money on the table over here.
There you go. Well, I'm gonna kind of say the same thing. Community schools and doing things for kids, connecting them with their schools is unbelievably important. And when I was,
Play especially.
yeah, through play and connections with families and the community as a whole. When I was at Bird School, we weren't officially a community school. We tried and tried and tried, but we pulled together a lot of ingenious things. And ultimately, that's what you're doing at community schools. You're pulling stuff together. It's a strategy. It's not a particular program. And I'm kind of sad to hear that Bird isn't fully participating. But anything that we can do to help the kids have that connection to school is really, really cool. My second happy dollar has to do with, while I'm still kind of tired, is my son, who purchased some land near where he lives right now and eventually wants to build on it. He was deer hunting on it and he got a doe. And so I went over later in the evening and helped him process that until about midnight. And so proud dad moment. First deer that he got off of his new piece of land. Pole hunting, yeah.
If you guys change your mind, I can always
Dave never does that.
My 14-year-old grandson has never been in a school before, so it was free. He just wasn't gonna find anything. But this year, he, in his first year in high school, has discovered theater.
Oh.
And so he's gonna be working backstage, and at that level, they do everything. And their first play is this weekend, so Sunday afternoon, I'll be in Evansville seeing Before Oz.
Oh,
I didn't know Oz had a breakfast. So I guess we'll find out. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, Ron.
Three happy dollars for this presentation. I hope it continues to grow. And one that I'm happy that the rest of the road construction projects are getting close to completion. I hope our kids are gonna get the ideas of what's over on Oak Street and Columbus Street. Some people had monsters in their yard for Halloween, and then there's a power line that's broke down, and so the roads blocked off. So I hope no kids get any ideas. That's part of Halloween.
I'll make a couple, but before I start, now that he's no longer mayor, I feel like I'd be correct. You do have a history in team sports, and your daughter was our varsity team manager for a while, and she did a great job. I have two. One, over the years, the last 10, we've seen a real decrease in the number of Halloween trick-or-treaters. And we had a ton of them this year. I don't know if it was Friday night or, I don't understand that, because 5 to 7.
Well, it wasn't snowing, so that's.
That might have been it. We had somewhere around 85 kids that showed up at our house. Last year we had like 35. So it was really fun to see that. Second happy dollar, I don't know how to act because I think I'm tied for first place in the fantasy league. I've never been too far from the bottom of that. I don't know.
Well, I'm taking
I
out that space. I think that's the one thing you want, right?
have to say it, 'cause it won't be true next year.
That's an expectation dollar. I know you're capable, so that the next time that you fill in for Dave, we expect it.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right, moving over here. All right, Dan, you need anything?
I'm good.
Good.
Well, I'm just like happy for fall, at the farm. It's fun, like everybody's kind of working their way out there to enjoy the fall, getting ready for deer hunting ourselves this weekend. We'll probably sight our guns in and just get the camp cleaned up and things like that. But we get everybody starting to filter out there, and it's just wonderful.
One on the sheet too. I have two. So, Emily talked about partnerships and, you know, in this space we're talking about, I see it from Boys and Girls Club, community schools, neighborhood navigators, the Y. I mean, it's like all these groups in the community, none of them can do it by themselves, but they all have different resources, but they're definitely all pulling the rope in the same direction. That's really important, and that's the way we do it in Sun Prairie, right? So my other happy dollar is Nan and I are leaving Saturday for a week civil rights tour. We are flying to Atlanta, then we go from Atlanta to Montgomery, then to Selma, then to Birmingham, and then back to Atlanta. So we've been looking forward to this.
Very cool. Are you going to the human rights museum?
Yes. Now, there are some, unfortunately, there are some national park sites that we maybe will not be able to get into.
Well, maybe
But,
you'll write a few letters before you.
yeah.
Oh, one I'd like to mention.
Yeah, I got back, my wife and I got back from California, last week. And, we, expected to go out there and welcome our new grandson. Well, he arrived 2 weeks after due date. And he was actually born the same time that we were flying back home.
Oh.
I got a lot of pictures, but I got a lot of pictures.
Did you coax them?
His due date was October 15th. And he was like 2 weeks later. So,
Okay, what's going on? Never been around.
first one, 9 pounds. You know, it's kind of a different, delivery process out there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, pretty, I'm not familiar a whole lot with doulas and what they do for birthing. But they go through that process and, she was actually, went into the hospital Monday evening and the delivery was Wednesday afternoon. You would think there'd be a lot of labor. It wasn't. It's all preparation for the duel. It just blows my mind. I thought that they were checking into a hotel. They were just taking their time and relaxing.
I promise you, it didn't feel like that.
With having 4 kids, I was always rushing to the hospital, and it was very, you know, crazy time. But this was so relaxed and all. Anyway, 9 pounds. I said that he's a toddler already. And what about the good news is I get to go back out November 20th.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay?
Yeah, everybody's great.
Love it. All right, I see a 5 spot here. Can I keep all of these?
Yes, you can. I am not gonna ask you for change in November.
Thank you, Emily. I know, so Jen and I met with Emily this summer in August, trying to get some stuff organized for us to help. And, she's a great champion because, everybody's so busy, right? But she really does keep us in touch, and we're trying. And I know I'm always been super busy, so I can't help on Thursdays. I wish I could, but, that's the one question I had. So, if we do our background check, right? So if you want to volunteer, if you think you want to help out at all, get your background check done ahead of time.
It's linked to the site.
So if you say Thursday morning, my schedule changes, can I just sign up and come?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that because I think it's a great program. Yeah, and I can give a little fantasy football update because Dan hasn't been here for a while.
Don't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna tell you that I'm at the bottom, pretty much. Yeah, I started at the top for a couple weeks, but, Dan is at the top. You're second.
Yeah, but the record doing the same, but he has more points.
Yeah, bench and bar, which is Josh. TD Green Machine, which is, Terry and Debbie. Then this lad is my lad. I don't know what that is. Oh, it is? You're in fifth. That's unusual. Polly with his surprise. He was at the bottom for a while now. I'm moving him up because I played him last night and this week and he killed me. And then Kane and I are in 7th place and then law enforcement, which is you. You're at the bottom.
Okay.
But you and I are fighting for that bottom.
Someone's gotta hold everybody up, Brad. Someone's gotta hold everybody up.
You and I are fighting for that bottom spot, but, I don't know about the West.
I could do it. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Because I lost again. It's not been a great year for me, but that's okay. But I think our leader, Jim, was upended yesterday.
Well, my quarterback, Jaden Daniel.
Oh dear. Well, that's never good when you're a quarterback. I lost 2 quarterbacks like the first week of the season. So that means we have some weird names too. Charbonnet with Bijan something. I think that's
I think it's, Mark.
Mark. Then Jim, then Hall of Fairness, I think that's Quentin.
Yeah.
Sparkle Crew, that's Ann. Playmakers, Pavone.
I know.
Well, I sent that.
Yeah.
Then me, I'm 6th. Then, sorry, Rex, you're not at the bottom. Rich isn't here, so we can say Rich is at the bottom.
He's very quiet about that.
That's us.
Woo! All right, go sports.
Thank you for the update. Here, anyway, okay, Emily, you get a free one. It doesn't have to be about work. You have to stand up.
Both my kids are doing music things this year, which is happy for my music hearts. My 11-year-old is playing bass cello. This is year 2, and my 14-year-old is in choir for the first time. So we just had our first choir concert last week. It was incredible. I was so impressed with like the high school choirs. So that was a lot of fun, and our first orchestra concert is coming up. Also had like my oldest, I think a few of you were saying like, I didn't know that they would be doing things like this. He's my sports kid, so I was really surprised when he joined choir this year. But it's been fun. And my wife and I are not sports people, so to have a sports kid, but now to have them both in music is much better for us. But thank you everybody for allowing me to be here. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I have $2. One is gratitude for Emily for she arranged all of these things, which she's had such great leadership in getting volunteers to come and support the after school club. She's been with us for a year, but it feels like a lot longer. She leads with tenacity, and I really appreciate that. My second happy dollar is this morning. Well, dear Lord, this time change. My children are up at 5 a.m. But it's okay. We'll get through it. So my 3-year-old and my 7-year-old my 7-year-old loves to make up jokes. And so I thought I would share one with you all today. What is a foot's favorite snack?
Fruit by the foot.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Tootsie Roll.
Oh, that's another really good one. Her response was Cool Ranch Dirtitos. So you can share that one.
Madam President, can you put me down for 3, please? One, I just wanted to say thank you for Emily for all she does and for coming and sharing that with us. Much appreciated. Second, had a great fall weekend. Steve and I went to the Painted Forest, which is by Walton, Wisconsin. The Painted Forest, it's like a fraternal organization from the 1800s. It's a building in Walton where a outside artist basically painted the entire inside of the building, which is very cool to see. And it's owned by Edgewood University, so they have a house next to it that they use for programs all during the summer. But we stayed there, and then saw a church. That church, it looks like a church, but it's not. It's a fraternal organization. Anyhow, and then went hiking in Wildcats and Bass Hollow and Hemlock Drop. It was a great weekend of hiking. That was wonderful. And then the third happy dollar is for my grandson's first official Halloween, which he went as, to nobody's surprise, an owl. So had to have the bird piece in there. All right, Emily, as our guest of honor, we get to draw the tickets. If you could read the last 3 numbers for our raffle drawing.
3765.
Winner. Anybody?
Yeah, there is some money on the table, so I think it's $3. So I think somebody put a 5 in and didn't grab their change. So I didn't add it to the.
Okay. All right. Onward we will go with that. And I do have for you. Oh, this is the jewelry. It is not jewelry. It's a pickles that I made. And they are, and I do things that
It's a gold jewelry.
Yeah. Wow. All right. They are dill. One is spicy, one is not. So you're welcome. And thank you. All right. And the Rotary knowledge for today. It is said that there is a Rotary meeting being held in the world every hour of every day. If you attended 1 meeting per day, it would take 80 years to visit all of the more than 34,500 Rotary clubs in the world. And by that time, there'd be thousands of new clubs to attend. So, Rotary facts of the day. All right. Thank you all very, very much. Have a lovely Tuesday.
Let the record reflect we had 77% participation.
Thank you.